I always know I'm about to hit a breakthrough spiritually when the lustful spiritual attacks drastically increase in velocity and veracity. And there's a prestigious leveling up that's about to occur when this happens, because the formality of these lustful attacks are so sophisticated that even just understanding that this is a lustful attack is going to be a triumph in some way, shape, or form for you, because throughout the whole journey of the narrow path, you're going to encounter temptations every which side for the enduring remainder of your life. And as long as we're alive in the physical form, we're going to have these fleshly desires, whether we want them to be there or not. And even if you desire not to desire, well, that's still a desire, right? So, and that is coming from an ancient Eastern philosophical proverb. But I do want to read a proverb from the Bible here, which is Proverbs 13:7, and it says, "There is that maketh himself rich, yet hath nothing. There is that maketh himself poor, yet hath great riches." So many times lust attacks you when you're about to receive or make great riches internally in your spirit, because the heart can be like an overflowing fountain of richness for those that have eyes to see and ears to hear. And it involves, in order to get to that point where your heart is like an overflowing vessel, there has to be some kind of letting go of the material. And so the more that you let go of the material, especially if you were once a very lustful person or had a lot of lustful attacks, or you just were, very drawn to the lustful side of life, for whether you're male or female, the antidote is going to be to let go of these material things. And watch what happens when you let go more of the material things. And if lust is one of your greatest vices, then that is going to amp up. The temptations are going to get heavier and more sophisticated, and it's going to be something that you have to really watch out for, because otherwise you're going to fall into the temptation. You're going to fall into the sin of either adultery, fornication, etc. And remember, Jesus said, even looking upon another woman that is already married in a lustful way, he's already committed adultery in his heart. And that is something that you have to be very careful nowadays, because more women than ever that are married or that are in relationships are coming for the guys that seemingly have it all going on. These are the bad boys, right? I made a video a week or two ago about why women pursue godly bad boys, and it's very much the case that if you are somebody that you're not necessarily a rebel, but you're not necessarily a follower either, well, you better believe that's going to be attractive to many different kinds of women. And it simply is the case that if women know that you have multiple women that want you, they all want you more. It's as the saying goes, a man sees a woman and a man in a relationship, and the man seems to be really enjoying that relationship. The man that sees that relationship says, "Oh, I got to get me a girl like that," right? Whereas the woman, if a woman sees another relationship like that, the woman says, "Oh, I need that man." Okay? Because women are much more drawn to the material as far as objectified possession goes. Women like to be objectified because they're objectionable creatures, I suppose you could say. And it's not to say that men are not materialistic. In fact, covert narcissists, and the most dangerous ones that I know are men. They are the ones that are the most materialistic, and they're the ones that are highly sophisticated and highly dangerous because of their persona and their personality, quote unquote. They're able to mimic what empathy looks like. They're able to mimic compassion, but in reality, they are going to have their true colors revealed one way or another. But the most dangerous kind of narcissist is the male covert narcissist, for sure, in my opinion, because I've met two very, very cunning narcissistic men. And even though it seems to me that there are more women that are narcissistic, because of their solipsism, it's more that women are more solipsistic, but sometimes that solipsism can lead to narcissism a little bit more easily. But on the if you look at like the standard deviation of the narcissism scale, for example, you're going to see way more men that are highly disagreeable and highly narcissistic and really conscientious. They're going to be on that really high end of the standard deviation, the 5%. Most of the narcissists that are the worst of the worst are going to be male narcissists. But then you have all of that stuff in the middle. Even though there are way more female narcissists, they're not quite as cunning to the degree that men that are, even though they're fewer in population percentage, are going to be much higher than that. And this is one of the reasons why you got to look out for the lust, because as a man and a woman, but lust in general, the way that you're dressing is going to show a lot about how you respect yourself, how you respond to yourself, and what you're inviting other people to look at necessarily. Because a woman that is always showing her skin, always doing that, well, you know, that's fine if she wants to do that, but me and other godly men that I know around the world at this point, because of the Regal Change Academy and in my consultations, we're not going to take those kinds of women seriously. We're just not. Because, well, why would someone who's always shown everything to everybody be of any worth to a godly man that can preserve some intimacy, can preserve some sophisticated likeness to each other? And there's a sense of loyalty that a man can see in a woman that is modest. She may not be the most attractive, but her sex appeal can be very much more higher because, well, there's just something about her that screams, well, she's not necessarily unavailable, but it's that she's not available to everybody. That's the key difference. Whereas a lot of these women that are just, they're just looking for the attention and they need that external validation. In many ways, I actually feel sorry for these kinds of women. And it's the same thing with the men, they'll walk around the gym and they're like 120 pounds. Like, I just like, dude, you're not that guy, man. You're not that guy. And it's okay. Like, you don't need to be that big burly guy. It's okay. Just be who you are, just have a little bit of your own swag. That's fine, but don't try to be something you're not. And then you see the guys that are big, I've met some of the guys in there at the gym. They are, without a shadow of a doubt, some of the most insecure men I've ever met. And not all of them, of course, it's only been a few of them, but the biggest guys can sometimes have this really big insecurity about them. And, I'm not any kind of bodybuilder type of person. I don't necessarily want to be, but I don't have anything against bodybuilders or anything like that. Specifically the men. The women I don't think need to be bodybuilders, but because I just don't see how that's going to be conducive to what a woman is supposed to be doing biblically in regard to creating a family and sustaining a family. And these things happen where sometimes the most seemingly confident people, as long as there's a spotlight on them, they're confident. But as soon as the spotlight goes, whether it's a woman or a man, in this case, it's like they feel this anxiousness and they don't know what to do with it. They're just, they have to be the center of attention. They have to do it. They have to be the center of attention. And these are going to be the kinds of people that are most susceptible to lust. And it's going to be the kinds of people that are most susceptible to falling into sin and temptation. And when I say sin, again, I want to be clear about this, because apparently people will see one video of mine and think they completely understand my work and what I'm trying to do with these videos, and it's kind of hilarious to me, because it's like, how do you expect to really know anybody off of watching one video of them? I mean, you can get an idea of their vibe and their energy and everything like that, sure, but to see who they really are in, some 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I don't think that's possible. It's going to be much more feasible to look at a few different videos and then see what's going on. But anyway, for the people that are not watching all of these videos all the time, when I say sin, what I mean is to fall into a form of behavior that particularly disrupts your connection to meaning and moves you away from your own personal well-being or the well-being of other people. You don't just sin, like people have said in the past, like, well, you can only sin against other people. What? No, that's not the case. You can sin against yourself. And the Bible makes that very clear about sinning against your own body in certain cases. And this can come in forms of lust. You can do that. And when these lustful spirits attack, when these lustful thoughts are trying to intrude and trying to really seep their way into your mind, you've got to know that there's probably something that you're doing that's going right. And the devil knows that if he can make you fall into sin, then that is going to be a win for him. Because the devil only wants to destroy that which is any form of righteous or goodness or form of justice or true beauty. And even though beauty is difficult to discern, and whether or not, and so is truth, but it's not necessarily always the case that true righteousness is going to be rewarded immediately. And the sins that we commit seemingly can be punished like that. And so there's a gratification delay, delayed gratification for doing righteousness. Whereas with sin, it's very immediate and you can feel something really quickly. And so you've got to learn how to kind of scale back and zoom out and look at things from a bird's eye view and think to yourself, okay, well, what exactly is going to propel me closer to that which is right for my well-being? Because what is the opposite of sin then, according to that definition that I've just described and prescribed? It would be moving toward that which is better for your well-being as well as the well-being of other people. And so your presence in of itself is going to be a way and a form of utility for other people to grow closer to the Most High. Because if you're carrying the presence of the Most High, people are automatically going to be drawn to you. But more especially if you're doing something that's transcending a version of you which can die and be done away with, and something new that is reborn in a new way or a new mode of being can be operating in the present spirit of the time, you best believe that the devil's going to attack you. And so you've got to be prepared for that. You've definitely got to be prepared. So with all that being said, I hope this message was useful and insightful to you. If you're going through some lustful stuff and lustful attacks at this time, I pray for you to overcome them and to really make sure that you are staying focused on what you need to be doing. And I also want to invite you to join the Regal Change Academy. We have the free Discord channel where you have a variety of tools and resources for meditation, healing, fitness tips, etc. in that channel. And then we have the paid community where we are doing all different kinds of classes. This is not just biblical stuff that we're doing there. This is the art of war. This is reading Dante's Inferno for the 7 Deadly Sins classes that we did. We're currently reading the art of war. And we also have meditation workshops, as well as godlike savage workshops, healing, etc. Entrepreneurship stuff, how to start your own business, basic tools like that. Also included in the membership, you get 2 weekly Bible study calls, as well as a weekly congregation call where we just congregate about a variety of different topics. And I want to appreciate everybody that's been moving from the YouTube platform over to X and Rumble recently. I appreciate your guys' extra support. And with all that being said, peace be with you. Till next time.